Davion, just your emotions on senior night to have that kind of game.
It was a very important game for us seniors, and I believe our team wanted to go out with a bang, and that's what we did. We weren't getting it really done in the first quarter. We were getting 3 and outs on offense, and the defense was still sticking in there for us, but we wanted to go out with a bang, and that's what we did.
Next, Rachel, second row left.
This question is for John. You made your first start in more than 2 years. Last was October 2014 in Houston. What was the week of preparation like for you, and what was it like playing in the cold?
That was a lot of fun. And honestly, I don't think much changed from my preparation all year long. I don't like to use cliches, but I was always one play away, so I had to be prepared all year, and an opportunity presented itself, so not much had to be changed. And playing in the cold was a lot of fun. It was like a scene from a movie today, or from a dream, and that's what it's all about. That's why we play the game, and in those elements, these guys are going to get a lot more of the work, and you did an excellent job today. Great job.
Stand front row all the way to the left, Larry.
John, when did you know you were starting, and how do you think you played today?
About Sunday afternoon, I knew. Not real pleased with the way I threw the ball, but that's part of battling the elements, and got to complete passes when opportunities present themselves. One that stands out was the one to Amara on the deep corner route in the third quarter, but luckily our run game and our O-line had my back today, and it doesn't matter how we get the win as long as we get the win.
Staying in the front row with Steve.
John, if you could talk about your long run that seemed to get everybody going, and then Davion right after you getting into the end zone with that run. Those 2 runs are everything for the team right there.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to make a play, maybe the drive before that, missed JU wide open after I scrambled a little bit, and I came off the sideline, talked to Coach Fish on the phone, and he said, you need to make a play, change this game around, and an opportunity presented itself on 3rd and long, and I thought I was going to score, got tackled from behind, but I think these guys were so close to breaking long runs all game long from the very first play, and finally in the second half they just broke through.
Staying in the front left with John.
Davion, on the 2 touchdown runs, the long ones, can you talk about what you saw, how they opened up for you?
Honestly, the offensive line's got a great push, and really nothing else to see. I mean, they were crashing, sending somebody off the edge, but you just gotta speed up your footwork as a running back. And the offensive line did a great job, and the wide receivers did too, and fullbacks.
Standing all the way to the left, Rodney.
Jabrill, can you talk about, you seemed a little more animated than normal out there today. Was it just to get your teammates up? You looked like you were doing it more and more as the game went on in the second half. Give us your sense of what was going on out there.
Well, we knew, because of the elements, it'd probably be a defensive battle. We knew that they had a pretty good deep passing game, and they were tempo. So coming out of halftime, I just told the guys, just kept saying how good you want to be. We got a real good opportunity to show the world how great we could be. Got an opportunity to sign that chain in the defensive room. So we had to just keep overcoming, and the guys look at me to bring the energy. I'm kind of the Energizer Bunny, if you may say. So I was just trying to keep the guys up, and just keep telling them to keep at it. We've been here before. There was no panic. We just had to keep playing sound Michigan ball.
Second row all the way to the right, Nick.
John, I think you said you weren't happy with the way you threw the ball. What was happening in the first quarter? Was things going too fast, or what was going on there? First half, I should say.
I mean, really the one play stands out. Other than that, we had opportunities to hit the ball. There was pressure, but really the one throw is. It's funny as a quarterback, you'll think about the one throw that you missed more than you think about the touchdown that you threw or the great play you made with your feet. But obviously, I'd love to go back and maybe leave it 2 yards further to the left and hit Amara in stride for a touchdown. But that one throw is really why I feel like I didn't throw the ball well.
Third row all the way to the left, Wojo.
Jabrill, you've talked in the past about how big Ohio State game is for you, and then where legacies are made, and for all of you guys, really. What does it feel like now that you can finally focus on that game? And do you feel like you guys are prepared for that game?
You know, we do a great job every week of preparing. You know, it's just up to us to go out and execute. You know, I don't need to say too much about the game. It's just the game. You know, now it's finally here. We can, you know, zero in on it and, you know, put all our focus towards it, because, you know, this one's for all the marbles. Everything we want is right in front of us. We just got to go out there and execute.
First row, middle right.
Same question for John and Davion. Now that it is here, what's your thought going into Ohio State?
Everybody better come ready for practice on Tuesday.
Ditto.
Back corner, Dan, towards the middle.
John, it looked like in the first half they were getting to you with pressure a little bit. Was there a little bit of needing to get back into rhythm with your first start in a while to feel the rhythm of a game as a quarterback?
I don't think necessarily, because it was my first start in 2 years or however long it's been. You know, every game you want to come out and get into a rhythm, and didn't really do that off the bat. And that's kind of how it transpired.
And then, do you expect to start against Ohio State next week? And if so, what do you feel you need to do to make sure the offense is clicking for 4 quarters against them?
I'm going to prepare like I'm the starter, and I hope Wilton prepares like he's the starter. And, you know, if he's ready to go, that's coach's decision, and I'm supporting it 100%. Whatever the coaches decide, I know we'll both be ready to go.
First row right, Mark.
Davion, it took a while for, obviously, those big plays to come. Did you sense that there was something happening, you know, that you were that close to breaking a couple? And did you sense change something at halftime that you could see?
Not really. I know with every single one of our running backs, we were like maybe an arm tackle away from breaking it, and Coach Lee really just talked to us, and, you know, you got to fight through those arm tackles, and we need a big one. We really got to take this game over, and that's what we did. And Coach Jeb came in with a great game plan for the second half, and we executed it well.
Got time for a few more, starting with Adam, second row.
Yeah, for Jabrill, this game always means a lot to Michigan and Ohio State, but the fact that both teams are in the running for things that are national, the playoff race, what does that add to what's going to happen next week?
You know, it depends on the guy you're asking. You know, me personally, you just got to go out there and play 60 minutes of football. You know, we know what we want to be. We don't have to harp on it or dwell on it. You don't need to add any extra, you know, extraness to the game. You know, the game is big enough in itself. You know, but now, you know, it's us and them. You know, winner probably, you know, earns their spot in the college football playoff. So, you know, I know they're gonna come ready, and they better believe we're gonna come ready.
Standing all the way to the left here, Katie.
This is for anyone. Special teams really kept the team in competition today. What do you have to say to their contributions?
You know, Coach Parsons does a great job. You know, all week in practice, you know, wanting us to be the best special team unit in the nation, week in and week out. And, you know, we take real pride in special teams, because, you know, that can change a game or lose a game for you. You know, we felt like last week, you know, we didn't win that battle with a special team. So we wanted to come out here and make an emphasis that, you know, we're still one of the top special teams unit in the country. And, you know, we got 2 blocks, and, you know, those are huge and critical situations. So, you know, that's all credit to, you know, Coach Parsons and, you know, the hard work he puts in and puts us in the best positions to excel.
Standing all the way to the right, Denny.
Hey, Davion, this question's for you. Some teams experience what happens last week, and it's a test of characters, the way they come out. Can you just speak personally? I know it's a we thing and not a me thing, but you kind of willed this team, whether you want to admit it or not, in that second half to doing what you guys did, and to still have the destiny in your hands. Can you just kind of put into words that feeling as a senior, knowing that you still had it in your hands after the disappointment of last week, knowing what you put into this one today yourself?
No. Honestly, believe it or not, when John took off for that run, that's what really sparked this. Like, that really is what got the offensive line going. And it's not like I had the whole game in control. The defense was definitely in control. They were making stops and putting us back on the field. And I don't know, we were just making plays as an offense.
Got time for 1 or 2 more. If anyone else has a question, we can get a microphone to you. Back to Wojo here, third row on the left.
Mostly for Devion and Jabrill. Any memory from last year's game against Ohio State stick out at you? You guys were close at halftime, but then they pulled away in the second half. Anything lingers in your mind about that game?
We lost. That's it.
That's it.
Do whatever we can possibly to change the outcome this year. You know, we feel like we have a lot of veterans and a lot of guys who have game experience, been in tough situations, you know, had their backs against the wall. You know, we just believe we don't fold. We just keep getting better and better every weekend. You know, this one's for all the marbles, like I said, so it's going to be interesting. We up in their place this time, and, you know, we expect the worst. So, you know, we're going to really take preparation this week very, very, very seriously. You know, like I said, every game is a big game. Some games are bigger than others, and, you know, this is one of those games.
First row all the way to the right, Jake.
John, at the end, when everything had kind of died down, it looked like you went over to the student section to celebrate a little bit. Maybe you had hoped to experience that earlier, but to have that today and to be able to celebrate that, what was that feeling like at the end?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I just felt like they supported me all year, you know, in the role that I've played, and I kind of owed it to them to just go over and show some love back to them. That's all that really was.